All right, shalom, shalom. Kahalayim La Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shah Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. Much peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful elect, pushing His word in truth and sincerity of heart. Shalom. This the brother Batak back again through the spirit with another lesson. The Lord willing, this let's be edifying. Um, this topic is going to be entitled. Um, let's see. They are coming after free speech. Um, and this is inspired by a conversation that I was having with someone about certain actions that have been going on in Babylon, most importantly, as of recently. And I just wanted to put my little 2 cents on, some of these situations. I'm not going to speak on it directly, but, for those that know, um, which everybody should know about what's going on right now. But the main thing is that I just wanted to focus on is the fact that free speech is going to be a thing of the past. So I went on type chat GPT and I typed in how can the government destroy free speech, and I'm just gonna read what chat GPT said, and Lowell and I come up with some scriptures, and Lowell and this let's be edifying. So all right, I typed on the chat, how can a government destroy free speech? It says the short answer is governments destroy free speech by using a mix of legal, te- technical, economic, social, and violent tools that together shut down independent voices, intimidate or punish speakers, and push information people can trust off the public square. See, you know, there have been a lot of times where certain people in power have said a lot of things are quote unquote fake news. See, they push true information off to the public square. Or if you're speaking against their narrative that they want to push, it's labeled fake news. You see? So even now, you can't say certain things. You can't say certain things on the internet about, quote unquote, medical information, um, or your video could be taken down. It's you have to speak in code about a certain type of people. It's a quote says you want to know who's in power. You To find out who's in power, find out who you can't speak against, or something along those lines. So whoever you can't speak about publicly, you'll find out that's who the person that's in power. So you can't speak rashly about a specific group of people. I'm not gonna say no names, but we know who we talking. We know who I'm talking about, man. Those ones that be wearing those little hats. Yeah, you can't speak out against those people, or you will be labeled anti, anti. You see? So with that being said, when it comes to free speech, you can't just say what you want to say anymore, man. You can't do it. You can't say something about the LGBT community or you'll quote unquote get canceled. Cancel culture. I believe that's what it's called. If I'm mistaken, forgive me. So really, free speech is really under attack. You're not able to freely speak your mind anymore. You can't say what you want to say because free speech is being attacked. It says below I list the common methods give real world examples and importantly practical defenses in individuals. Hold on, bear with me 1 second. Let me see back up while it's on my head. Okay, Importantly, practical defenses individuals and institutions use to resist or rebuild free expression. All right, it says how governments destroy free speech, coming tactics. It says one, pass broad, vague laws that criminalize dissent. Laws against extremism, fake news, insulting the state, or undermining national security. Let authorities charge journalists, activists, or ordinary citizens for criticism. Authoritarian regimes routinely expand those categories to cover reporting and online dissension. So let's go to a real quick precept. Woe unto thee that decree unrighteous decrees. You can't speak out against Big Brother. Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees, and that writes grievousness which they have prescribed. So that's what these so-called societies do. These are their tactics that they do to suppress free speech. And you best believe that same thing is going on today, right now. You know, one key example of it happened recently. I believe his name was Jimmy Kimmel. His show was canceled because of comments that he made about about CK. You know, I'm not gonna say his name, but you know who I'm talking about. So his show was canceled because of that. So nobody's exempt from getting canceled. And I seen a screenshot that a brother posted earlier. Is that the king of Babylon is threatening to take TV licensings, TV licenses, because 97% of them speak against him. You see? So free speech, right now is being attacked. You're not going to be able to say anything about the state. You're not going to be able to say anything about the king of Babylon. You can't say nothing against Big Brother or what Big Brother's doing, you know? And I'm speaking in code. All right, let me see what the NLT says on that scripture, because we have to deal with the wicked rulership of the enemy, and this is how he governs. This is how he controls the people. Isaiah 10:1. What sorrow awaits the unjust judges and those who issue unfair laws, and that's exactly what we see. This is what we experience. BBE says, "Cursed are those who make an evil decision, and writers who make the records of their cruel acts." I don't like that translation. Uh, AMP says, "Woe, judgment is coming to those judges who issue evil statutes, and to those magistrates who constantly record unjust and oppressive decisions." And that's exactly what we see in there, you know. So one part one bulletin number one was on point. Esau loved to pass these draconian legislations. You're not going to be able to speak out. You see, you're not going to have a voice. You're going to be silenced. Whether you're going to be incarcerated, you're going to lose your job, or you're going to get killed by the state or killed by Big Brother, if you know what I mean. Verse 2. Control the media ecosystem, state media, buyouts, licensing. Oh, I was just speaking about licensing. Um, let's see. Let me Google something real quick. Trump wants to take TV licenses. I know I'm spelling licenses wrong. Let me see. I think that's the right way. All right, it says Trump says TV networks against him should maybe lose license after Kimmel's suspension. Trump is threatening broadcast station licenses with what that means and how it all works. So as you can see, I just wanted to show you the proof of actually he's trying to do that. It says control media ecosystem, state media buying, buyouts, licensing. It says governments consolidate broadcasters, revoke licenses for independent outlets, or compel media owners to sell to friendly buyers, starving independent record reporting of reach and of revenue. So ultimately, they're gonna take your licensing. You're not gonna be able to air. You're not gonna be able to do anything, man. Because remember that you gotta have approval to do some of these things, man. And the king of Babylon is really going after those. He's going hard on people, man. He's not playing. You see, he don't want you to report media. He don't want you to report against him. You know, you got to be for the king of Babylon. You can't be against him. Verse 3, it says, judicial harassment and bogus prosecutions. Yeah, it says, prosecuting journalists and critics on tax corruption or public order charges is coming. It is coming. It silences people and warns others. See multiple recent prosecutions and imprisonments worldwide. So what they do, they'll lock you up, basically. Surveillance, spyware, and tech-enabled targeting. It says state deploy mass surveillance by intrusive spyware or pressure platforms for users' data to identify, threaten, or arrest. This is dissidents, if I'm saying it right. Forgive me if I'm not. And journalists. This also generates chilling effects where people self-censor. So surveillance. They're gonna spy on you. They're gonna watch you. You know. They're gonna find out your information. They're gonna surveil you. Keep a close eye on you. Big brother's always watching, right? Verse 5. Number 5. Internet censorship and technical blocks. Blocking websites, throttling social media, ordering platform takedowns, or shutting down internet access during protests are direct ways to stop information flow. Authorities also block VPNs and anti-censorship tools. See, what are they going to do? Basically, what is that saying is they can easily take control of the internet and shut it down. Basically, that's another way. So these are clearly great examples of how the a government can destroy free speech. Now, are those things happening today? I don't know. You tell me. So, moving right along. No need to, you know, think about it. Think about it. Verse 6, it says platform capture and coercion of private companies. Coercion. I'm sorry, I'm probably saying it wrong. Forgive me. Governments pressure or legally compel tech companies to remove content, turn over data, or localize service, sometimes buy-in compliance via local law or economic leverage. So governments can pressure you to remove certain content that they don't approve of. You got to follow their algorithm. You got to follow what they want. You see? That's all that big brother don't care, man. Big brother say, look, you can't do this. You can't talk about big brother. And of course, I'm still speaking in code. For those that seen the movie 1984, know what I'm talking about. Verse 7 says, disinformation, propaganda, and information monopolies. State propaganda, troll forms, and selective amplification drown out or discredit independent reporting, changing what people are changing what people see and trust. See? And it's a lot of people that pretend like they're against the government, but they're really double agents, if you will. They really are controlled opposition. You see? They getting that paycheck to pretend as if they're opposed to government, but they're really working for the government or working for the cause, whatever you want to call it. So they can push propaganda, they can push disinformation because the 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 seed to the C to the I to the Apple is known for pushing that. They known for pushing disinformation or setting up people to uh push disinformation, man. You know what I mean by the C to the I to the Apple. So they're known for doing stuff like that. They're known for doing that. All right. For those that are in the know, no. All right. 8 is economic pressure and regulatory choke points, tax audits, fines, withdrawals of advertising, or regulatory sanctions force outlets to close or tone down criticism. Funding restrictions or NGOs and universities also shrink independent spaces. So what? They can put the pressure on your pocketbook, man. They can make you pay financially or put the squeeze on you so bad till you can't operate, you can't conduct business. So this is what you expect from a government, which the word government means mind control. That's self-explanatory. They want to control everything, and if you don't go according to what they say, you shit out of luck, man. Verse 9: physical attacks, kidnappings, assassinations, and intimidation, violence, threats, and extrajudicial tactics remove individuals' voices and make entire communities self-censor. Human rights organizations document this globally. So what? What if they can try to soften subtle approach, or they can get shit physical, man. They can take you out. They can kill you. They can quote unquote silence you. You know, they can take your head off your shoulders. What happened to Jay? What happened to that president? You see, what happened to him? What you call that? Because he was working against the cause. He was working against the powers that be. You see, he was he was he didn't really like what Big Brother wanted him to do. So what did Big Brother do? Big Brother took him out. If you oppose them, if you go against their plans, you don't want to cooperate, Big Brother take you out. And the whole world watched it. The whole world witnessed. He made you an example. Big Brother took him out. The king of Babylon was taken out by the powers that be. Those that are behind closed doors, that are controlling and manipulating everything. They took him out because he wasn't complying to what Big Brother wanted. So that's an example of, you know, cutting the head off of the snake, taking your ass out. They can take you out, man. Verse 10. It says legal and informal social pressure that creates self-censorship. Even and they can demonize you. It says even without direct representation, the threat of losing the job, being blacklisted, or social shaming pushes many to stay silent, which is often the most effective form of speech suppression. Yep. What do? Blast you on the media. They criminalize you. They demonize. They use their media to shit on your glory, so to speak, man. Throw shame on your glory. Bring up your criminal history, or they humiliate you with certain things about your past. Maybe who knows? You see, that is another way that they can censor free speech. Practical defenses and ways to rebuild, defend free speech. I'm not gonna read none of that. I just wanted to get the tactics that they use that are common, so to speak. Um, Isaiah chapter 10 verse 1 is the only scripture that's coming to mind as of, you know, Isaiah 10 and 1. It says, woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that writes grievousness which they have prescribed. So these devils are the ones that's, you know, prescribing all of these things. They're pre-written, thought about ideas. You know, Micah chapter 4, no, Micah 2 and 1. Woe unto them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of the hand. So that's what Esau is doing. He's working evil. You see, we're seeing many examples of Esau um, working evil in the earth. Offended for a word. Offended for a word. Offended. Offend word. All right. That make a man offended for a word and lay a snare for. Okay, here we go. Terrible all that brought to law and the squads consumed all that watch. If you nigga get cut off. Then Isaiah chapter 29. Let me see. When we'll start at. Let me see. Isaiah 29. See what the NLT says. 29 and verse 21. The scoffer will be gone, the arrogant will disappear, and those who plot evil will be killed. Those who convict the innocent by their false testimony will disappear. A similar fate awaits those who use trickery to pervert justice and who tell lies to destroy the innocent. Let me see. BE, who helped to men. All right, I like the BBE version. So this is the book of Isaiah chapter 29 verse 21. It says, I'm sorry, verse 20 says, the scoffer will be gone. I'm going to read the NLT on the left. It says, the scoffer will be gone, the arrogant would disappear, and those who plot evil will be killed. For those who convict the innocent by their false testimony would disappear. A similar fate awaits those who use trickery to pervert justice, and who tell lies to destroy the innocent. And that's exactly what Esau does. He does that mainly with his media, and he's going to do that to demonize certain men. The prophets. The BBE says, "Who give help to a man in a wrong cause, or who put a net for the feet of him whose decisions in who gives decisions in the public place." Taking away a man's right without cause. That's the part I wanted to get. Taking away a man's right without cause. That's what Esau's doing. He's slowly stripping you away of all of your so-called rights. The Constitution is going to be toilet paper soon, man. You know, you ain't gonna have no rights. You ain't gonna have no free speech. You ain't gonna have no right to no Second Amendment. All of those shit gonna be taken away, man. You gonna have to do what Big Brother say. Um, it's the book of Psalms 37 and 35. I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. See, the wicked are in great power, and we're experiencing that while we here in Babylon. They have all of the power. We don't have any power. Let's see. Wanted to bring that out real quick. Psalm 17 and 13. It says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint them." So we want the Lord to disappoint these devils, cancel their plans. It says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." So we need deliverance from these devils, man. With their unrighteous decrees, they're framing mischief by law. I'm gonna get that. that scripture next. Frameth mischief, which is evil. Psalms 94 and 20. It says, shall the throne of iniquity have fellowship with thee, which frameth mischief by law? No, that's what Esau do. He framed mischief by law, man. He make mischief into a fucking law. The unrighteous decrees. That's what we was just. That's what was just going into the unrighteous decrees, man. Laws that are oppressive, and they always changing. They're always changing the laws. See, so we know the subtle tactics that Esau is doing in order to take away free speech. And I just wanted to speak a few words on it, speak a few cold words on it, if you will. But I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Listen, read to those examples, those bulletins. You tell me if that's happening in the earth. You tell me if free speech is being taken away, because I don't know. So so with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Um, let's see. Is there any other precepts coming to mind? You know, because there are people in this world that don't like the truth. The scripture says the truth shall make you free. But this is the scripture I wanted to get. Galatians 4 and 16. Am I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth? See, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? The answer is, in this world, a world built upon the house of Esau's lies, yes. Oh, there's a uh, uh, quote about truth. Damn, Revolutionary Act. There's a quote about. Here it is. All right, it says the most common quote, often misattributed to George Orwell, is in a time of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Now we are living in a time of deceit. If you tell the truth in a time of deceit, that is a revolutionary act. And you become public enemy number one when you're telling the truth. And that drives the powers that be, Big Brother, to silence you because of it. You see? So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Is free speech being attacked? You tell me. So, with that, Lord willing, this lesson, this that might be the title of this lesson. You know, cold. So, with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I'm gonna close out by giving our praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Bahasham, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and to the elders of Great Millstone that will teach well. Much peace, love, and salutation to the helpful elect, pushing this word and truth and sincerity. Shalom.